put the background matrix on, I expected to see a little bit of a bump. There really wasn't one. So that might be a problem, but we'll see once we do the spike timing whether that really was a problem or not. So let the reagents come on, set smoothing, let it stabilize, and then set base back to 5%.
Okay. This was a signal for the reagents, and then you set smooth, set baseline.
Yep. So you set smoothing just to kind of, you set smoothing with the reagents to kind of smooth the signal out. And then you set baseline so that you tell the machine that this is baseline with the reagents. And now we've got a steady baseline, so I'm going to start the spike timing. If I can steal that seed for a minute. And if I steal that seed? And if I steal that seed?
There you go.
XY sampler. Doing our TN timing, so 48 sample, 12-second wash, starting to count 9-10.
Seconds.
And you can also
Yeah. Then 2 times sample.
one time.
One time only, yes.
And you can see the splits. 47 sample, 12-second wash, 47 sample, 12-second wash, and then your last 48-second sample.
So I thought it should be 3 minutes, 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, should be about 3 minutes. Cancel, go back to your window, writing down the baseline with the reagents. So we have that.
Where'd you get the number? Oh, it's negative.
So now once that's done, we can go back and have some confidence that everything's gonna work.
Is it when you just use it, right?
Yeah.
So the highest concentration are the first and the last.
Mm-hmm.
And then we move to over dilution.
And the last cup is one you have to keep an eye on throughout the run because it samples it multiple times, the drift cup. So you got to go back and fill it after it goes through the calibration. And while you're doing this, you also want to keep an eye that you catch that spike when it comes through.
Yes, if not, I'm gonna miss the boss. For the lowest concentration, it's only one, right?
Yep, DI water.
There's a blank?
Mm-hmm. So I usually have one blank cup that I use for calibration, and then
Highest, blank, and then the dilutions.
yeah. So I usually have one blank for doing calibrations, and then your blank 1 and blank 2 in the tray protocol. Oh, speaking of which, I need to change that. One, two, three, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 65, 66. So now we just wait. We're pretty much ready to go as soon as that spike comes through.
What if we don't see the spike?
You will.
Are you sure? Oh, yeah, well, you said you were very sure about that.
Yeah, it was. Usually you see at least some bump from background matrix. My only thought is the last time we ran phosphorus, well, it might already be, it was at the right baseline. Like, it was already had a baseline with the background matrix from the last run, so maybe it was just a similar background, so it didn't have a big signal.
Yeah, just remember that problem with the precipitate. Fixing together.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm kind of asking if that's possible here too.
Yeah, I mean, usually in times where I haven't seen a big bump from the background matrix, you still get bigger peaks going through.
case, it's a gain of around 50.
Yeah, because it looked like it was gonna plateau at around 50-60%. So I wanted to set gain to make sure.
That's a difference with respect to that gain.
Yes.
It was 85.
Yeah. Well, I still want it. So it's just, I think it's It's a kind of a weak signal. That digestion. Maybe when
That's because of the signal, low signal.
low signal. So I still wanted to make sure. I still need to have a spike up there. So I like, okay, as it was with the gain set at 85, it was going to plateau at 55%. So I set gain to 143 from 85. And now we should have an appropriate spike.
But you did that before.
I did that. I wanted to see what the machine was doing with the 85 gain, and on 85 gain, it was going to set at 85 or 55%. So I set gain, and it, kind of adjusted the signal strength because maybe our digestion was a little weak.
So you did a right click on that window.
Yep, right click and set gain, and then the second peak, you're looking to see if that first set, if that setting that gain, if this value is going to be all right. And it looks like, that's a perfect calibration spike. So, and now looking at the third one just to double check, and this is now the 901 cup. Sometimes you have a little bit of difference between the spikes between the two cups.
Both the 901 and 910 are.
They should be the same concentration.
Because they're the highest.
But they're the highest, and this one's going to probably top out at like at 85%. It's a little bit lower than the 901 cup and the 910 cup, but I think that should be just fine. I don't want to increase that gain anymore because it might send my spikes or my peaks above 100%. So
that's 183. The G. 143.
143. Yeah. So the machine, when I clicked set gain, the machine chose that number.
Okay.
And then, so when I set gain, that brought it up there. And then on the second spike, you're just double checking to make sure that the software has it right. And the third one to confirm it again. And even though this is a little bit lower than that one, it's still above 85%. And I don't want to, tell it to go to like 150 or something like that, or 155, because then it's going to be too strong of a signal. So there's going to be too much gain. So
now you're expecting the other spikes for the 901 cup.
That was the 901 cup. 910, 901. And sometimes you'll have sometimes you will see a difference between the spikes in the 910 cup versus the 901 cup.
But they shouldn't be that.
They shouldn't be.
That big,
yeah, they shouldn't be that big. Like you shouldn't have these two and then one down here. Like that is, I think that's a reasonable.
That's a reasonable. Yeah. Okay.
So now we're just waiting for the baseline to kind of get back to stable, and then we can start the run. Pretty good. So I'm just going to set base one more time. And I'm going to click on run. Find TP. That's it. Yep. The last thing, just before I walk away, is make sure that baseline is found.
Yeah, baseline is found, and then the other.
Yeah, and then so on if you're, I don't know what the word is, but you can force baseline with that button at this point if you need to. So like on 4 chemistry, when I have all 4 windows. And all three, or the first 3 channels, find baseline of alkalinity. is just too much of an unstable baseline.
Yeah, you told me that.
I'll just force it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And baseline
It's
found.
and then button actually disappears.
And it disappears. Yep. And you'll see it again once it does the calibration. You'll see another button up there that you can bring up your calibration curve for the day and see the regression. And you also see the correlation coefficient down here versus baseline found. But the next thing you'll see is primer found or primer not recognized.
That's the other thing.
And so if it says primer not recognized, it's still going to sample everything, but you're not going to have any values to go with it. So you need to stop the run at that point and start over. But right now, we can pretty much walk away. The only thing I'm going to do is just fill up
Background solution.
Fill up background solution, and then I'll fill up bridge and the DI water. And yeah, we're pretty.
So bridge is good enough?
Yeah. I want to I'll let it go down to like 200 mils before I put in some more bridge and fill it up. Because I just made that, so I don't want to put in more bridge and fill it because it's at the right concentration right now. So. Yeah, it'll probably be a good 10 minutes before we see if the primer's going to be found or not.
Okay, let's go for 10 minutes.